Hi, welcome to the third video for this Yoga 2 class. Um, Video number 1 actually ended up being for week 1 and week 2. Video number 2, which is called week 2, we're actually did on week 3, and this is video number 3, which will be for week 4. I know things are a little messed up, but just know that it's embedded where it needs to be. Our philosophy theme for the week is the gunas, and I have a couple things that are going to show up backwards right now that you'll notice in on Canvas. You'll notice that, which is probably the simplest way to look at this. It's got Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Sattvic is kind of like a middle of the road. It's if you think of Goldilocks, this is kind of like the just right thing, only we're not always just right. Rajasic is kind of, our energy is spun up too high. It's like you had a full pot of coffee and you just are shaky. Tamasic is kind of lethargic and sleepy, like you need a full pot of coffee, is how I like to think of it. And Sattvic is that perfect amount of coffee, not too spun up, not too down. Some people think of it as being kind of in a spiritual state. There's a couple other charts on Canvas. One is, again, these are all backwards, the journey of consciousness into matter, and the bottom of it, all these words at the bottom talk about these three energy states. These three balls here kind of go with it. Everything above it, not important for this week. However, it is part of yoga therapy or yoga philosophy. Excuse me. This is fourth take. So, anyway. You'll also see another chart in there, and this relates a lot of these philosophical yoga philosophy terms to iRest. This is actually an iRest chart that I have authority to be able to share with you as an iRest level 2 teacher and candidate for certification. So when you're looking at this chart, everything has numbers on it. So if you look at the bottom, around 5 through 14, kind of at the bottom there, you'll see some stuff that kind of goes to this Rajasic stuff. So my question for you right now before we get started is, where's your energy right now? Are you feeling like you need a cup of coffee? Do you feel like you've had too much? Or do you feel like you've had about the right amount? And that will go to your energy state. We're going to start our practice with 2 sun salutes, just to spin off a little Rajasic energy. Some people, when they get spun up like that, they need to burn it off and then they can calm down. But for some people, it spins them up even more. And I can't answer that question for you. Only you can figure that out with experience of your life, what is going to work for you. This is going to be mainly a floor practice, so I don't want you to be too full of energy as we move into it. We need to be ready to be down on the floor. So we're going to do 2 sun salutes, because for me that helps a little bit to kind of center, get a little bit of moving meditation going, spin off a little bit of that rajas, and then just be ready to be on the floor. Our props for today, you might need a belt. If you're at home, a yoga belt, it doesn't have to, this is just a canvas belt. If you can borrow a canvas belt or something like that, that'll work. A block, I think I said before, if you don't have a full box of tissue, a little denser, will work probably for that. And a blanket, especially if you've got bad knees, you'll probably want to have a blanket close by. And this is floor, so I'll pretty much follow the routine that is embedded in Canvas, so that you'll have an example of that to go. So let's start off with those 2 sun salutes. I'm going to do C's. If you want to do different ones for your warm-up, you can do that. I also have some music playing in the background. Let me know if you like it or not. It's my first time trying to have music in the background for this class. This particular thing is from Pandora. It's a station called Yoga Sanctuary that I like for teaching. So if you like this, that's where you can find this music. it's not a playlist, just to be clear. So I never know what it's going to play. All right, 2 sun salutes. So, I think, yeah, we're going to do the sun salutes with the camera this way, then I'll turn it. So just find your feet beneath you. Maybe take a couple breaths, let your eyes close, scanning through the body, grounding your feet down to the earth. You do 1 sun salute facing this direction and 1 turn sideways so that you'll have 2 different angles on this. At the base of this sun salute, hold your air out. And then all of us inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, gazing out. Exhale, step the right foot back, lower the right knee. Inhale into crescent. Exhale, the arms back down. Inhale, step the left foot back. Down dog. And warm this up a little, walking the dog, keeping the toes in place, lifting the heels, bending the knees, popping the knees. And then maybe stretch them both back. Breathing, maybe some Ujjayi breath. And then on the next inhalation, lift the leg up. Bend the knee, step it forward, lower the left knee to the ground. Inhale into crescent on this side. Exhale the hands back down. Inhale, step the left foot forward, lengthen to the halfway point. And exhale, fold. Inhale, unfold. And exhale, bring hands to the heart. Hopefully this is going to work. You won't see quite my head. It should be okay. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, gazing out. And this time, exhale, step the left foot back, lower the left knee to the ground. Inhale into crescent. Exhale the hands back down. Inhale, step the right foot back to down dog. Breathing. Inhale, lift that left foot up. Bend the knee. Exhale, step it forward, lower the right knee. Inhale into crescent. Exhale the hands back down. Inhale, step the right foot forward, lengthen to the halfway point. Exhale, fold. Inhale, unfold. And exhale, bring hands down to the heart. So hopefully we burned a little energy off now and we're ready to do some seated work. So I'm going to bring my blanket in right now because I've had knee surgery. So I'm going to take it, let me just unfold it all the way for you. I'll give you a little blanket folding lesson. Whee! So all the way unfolded. From elementary school, hamburger folds are kind of making more of a square. Hot dog folds make a long rectangle. We're going to do a hamburger fold. I'm going to bring the fringe ends of my Mexican blanket together. So it's kind of hamburger folded. And then I'm going to fold it in half again. The opposite direction. And then I'm going to fold that in half and in half. So now I have kind of a nice little pad for my knees. And back to where it needs to be because we are moving into gate pose. So I will need a block for this. Gate pose is a bit like triangle or side angle or kind of both of them. So I'm going to put my knee that's going to be down on the blanket, and my other leg is going to be extended out. I'll put the block kind of towered out here next to the knee that's down. So starting with the easier side, I'm going to let my hand go down the leg that's extended straight and just let the other arm come all the way over my head. So this is a closed gate, and then you can kind of open your heart a little bit more, or you can guard it depending on what you want to do. Now I've got my ankle kind of, or my toe kind of pointed. If your ankle needs to be flexed, that's fine, or if you need to have it down front ways. I don't really care what your ankle's doing as long as it's not hurting. And then we're going to go the other way. So coming up, this is kind of a side angle. You're going to have to decide what height you want the block. I want mine actually very flat. You might even do this without a block. I kind of think I like low block today. And then just make a nice straight line from the tip of your fingers here all the way to the tip of your toes. You turn your gaze upward. So this should feel a bit like side angle pose. And then inhale, coming up. We have to do this on the other side. So if you're using a blanket, shift your knee down to that blanket. Block to the other side. Same, different. Arm down the leg, other arm over your head. Breathing. Coming back up, over to the other side. Nice straight line. Maybe gaze up. And then coming up. Next is a forearm plank. So we're simply going to come down to our forearms here and extend your legs out behind you. Pull in the abs, squeeze the thighs, squeeze the buttocks. And we're going to hold this as long as you can. While you're doing this, I really want you to notice your energy. While you're doing it, do you feel Rajasic, spun up, Tamasic, tired, or Sattvic, right in the middle? Hold as long as you can hold. Bringing the knees down, take a child's pose. So let the buttocks go back over the heels, extending the arms out. Take a break. Take a breath. And if you want to do more of those, if that feels like something that resonates with you, feel free. We're only going to do one today. But we're going to do a full cat-cow routine now. For this, if you've got any kind of an issue with your knee, you're going to need a blanket. But if you also have an issue with your wrist, you might need something under your wrist. I have a little bit of both going on in my body. So I'm going to take this blanket and position it such that my knees can be on it, but I can also have the palms of my hands on it. My fingertips, if you notice, they're not on the blanket. This allows my palms to be elevated a little bit so that let me come a little closer. I wonder if I can do this right here. No. Well, let me use my other hand. Imagine this is the floor. So if I have a lift under my hand, then it's a 90-degree or a 45-degree angle for my wrist to kind of be at, rather than this 90-degree angle if it's flat down on the floor. It just gives it that little bit of lift. It's the difference between kind of here in here. This is a little bit harder for your body. So if you're having an issue with your wrist, make sure that you put something under the palms of your hands. So cat-cow. I'm going to arch the back up as the head and the buttocks go down, and then sway the back down as the head and the buttocks go up. And then just move that with your breath. Perhaps as the back is up, this is exhale, head is down. And then as the head is up, this is inhale. So breath moving with the head. And then coming back to the middle, making sure that your ankle is right over top of your shoulder so we don't hurt our shoulders or our wrist. We're going to extend one leg out, lift it up, and make sure that the hip isn't jutting up like this. We want the hips parallel with the floor. And then if you feel like you can go a little bit further, extend out the opposite arm. This is a little bit of a balance pose. This is bird dog pose. It's part of our cat-cow sequence. And if you want to go even further with this, you can bring elbow and knee together and open. If this is too much, then you can do it simply with the knee, without the hand. Do 5 to 10 of those, and then moving on to the other side. Again, making sure the hip doesn't come up, it stays down. Elbow and knee together and open. And then back. If you ever need a little break, you can always take this child's pose. It's there as your signal to me or any other teacher if you're in a class that maybe something isn't feeling right in your body. Without having to disrupt the flow of the class, you can just kind of send us that nonverbal cue. Or for you, sometimes it's just a way to go inside and to center. It's almost somewhat sattvic, balancing between the two. All right, so we're going to do our seated twist routine now, and I'm going to kind of go back and forth a bit with this so that you can see from a few different angles what's going on. So we're going to start with our knees bent, feet on the floor, leaning back on your hands with your fingertips facing you. So they're facing in towards my body, not back towards the wall. And then we're just going to exhale as the knees drop to one side. Inhale as they come up to the middle. Exhale as they drop to the other side. Inhale back up to the middle. Keep going with your breath. And then let your eyes close. And imagine you're just going to let your body do whatever feels right. Maybe it's a little deeper twist. Maybe you want to bring a hip up off of the floor. Whatever feels right. And then once you get your knees over to the right side, I'd like you to spin your body around and bring your forearms down to the ground. And I'm going to turn my body the other way so that you can see what I mean by that. So if my knees drop this way, I'm going to spin around and bring my forearms all the way down to the ground. From here, if you want to add a little Kapalabhati breathing, which is taking a nice deep breath in and then taking very very fast exhalations, maybe about 20 of them to each inhalation. And you'll feel your belly pulsing, it's deep diaphragmatic breathing. So it'll be something like this, inhaling. I hope you could see my diaphragm working, my belly moving. And from here, we're going to spin all the way around and do this on the other side. So it's the same thing on the other side. Pushing back up, we're going to go back around to this other side. Coming back down to the arms. This time we're going to open. I'm going to stay on one forearm. The other one's going to come up. So we're going to work with the leg that's on top and the arm that's on top right now. The other one's going to be like our kickstand. So extend the leg out and extend the arm out in opposite directions. You're being pulled in two directions. Because that never happens in life, right? And then the next time you exhale, bring your elbow and knee together. On inhale, open. Keep going with the breath. One more. And open. And then we're going to bend this knee. See if you can reach around behind you and find that ankle. And then just gently let that knee move back until you feel a stretch on the thigh. This is a spot where if this is difficult for you, you could use a strap to grab your ankle, to extend your arm a little bit. And then we have to come on up, and we're going to do all of this on the other side. So I would in turn kind of come around this way, but I'm going to come around and lift the other side up. So do it this way. So we're going to extend the arm and the leg away from each other. And then exhale, they come together. Inhale, they open. Next time they're open, hold there. Bend that knee and reach around. Find your ankle. Move the knee back until you feel stretch on your thigh. Pause there. And then let's let that go. Come on up. Check my routine here. So now we are into, that was the seated twist. So now we're into the Ashtanga part of our class. The seated Ashtanga poses through boat. I'm going to grab the strap because I might need this. Put it close by. So the first one is just legs out straight. Got my toes there. And we're just going to do an inhale. And then reach for the toes. 5 breaths for each of these. This is a bit modified. And then coming back up, let your hands be on the ground. Just sit tall. This is staff pose. Find your sitting bones beneath you. Flex your feet. We're going to go into reverse plank. So if this causes you to feel at all like you're getting a calf cramp, come out of it. Hold it for about 5 breaths. So we're going to point the toes and then let the hands come back behind you. Fingertips still towards you, not towards that wall behind me, towards my buttocks. And then as much as you can, we're going to lift up the hips. Maybe your feet fall flat to the floor. 5 breaths here. Those that were in Yoga 1 with me will remember that we did this with a partner, putting the strap underneath of them along their hips and then leaning back to help them come up. So after this now, we are going to do a seated half lotus. So I'm gonna sit with my foot out there in half lotus. Usually we start on the right. I'm starting on the left. Because of this camera, everything appears backwards. So I'm gonna strap this foot. The strap is gonna go alongside my body. And then I'm going to reach around behind me and find the strap. Then I'm going to find this toe down here and forward fold. Now the ultimate goal of this, let me get the toe out of the way, is to see if you can get your hand to your foot behind your back like that. But if you can't do that, use a strap. 5 breaths here. And then we'll change sides. So let that go. Change legs. This is my bad knee, so I don't know if this one will cooperate as far as this bind is concerned. So strapping the foot, reaching around behind you, finding the strap. Nope, not today. Some days are good, some days are not so good. And that's okay. Finding your big toe maybe. Breathing like Ujjayi breath if you can. And then let that go. So we're going to move back to, this leg is going to be straight. This leg is going to be bent. My thighs are going to try to be as parallel with each other as they can be. If you have a bad knee, this leg, shin might be out a little bit, but you want it kind of tucked back next to you, not so that you're sitting on it, but it's just kind of next to your hip. Then, see, it's easy to kind of let this side roll out while you're doing this. So my recommendation is to take a block and sit on the inside edge of the block. So I'm gonna put that right underneath of my buttocks, and then instead of being up on it, I'm gonna let that hip drop down, and that just positions me a little bit better. Reach for my toes. If you can't get your toe, I should have said this earlier, you can always strap your foot. Five breaths here. And then the other side. So this is my bad knee. So it doesn't come in. There's these two aren't parallel. It's more of like a 45-degree angle. And I really need to sit on the block on this side. So everyone, we're not asymmetrical. We often need to do different things on different sides of our bodies. In fact, I might even use a strap. Well, I can kind of get it. We're going to come up, move this away, Janu Sirsasana. So it's like a seated tree pose. So I've got the sole of my foot kind of up as close into my groin as I can do, and that's just Janu Sirsasana A. B would be, let me turn a little bit so you can see what's going on here. So it's kind of right up here, sole of the foot against it. B is to sit on the foot. Same thing, but you're sitting on it. And then I'm still working on the next one, which is toes down and facing away from you. And then knee kind of coming down. This is a lifetime of work. If you're, maybe we can get, who was it? There's somebody in the class, I think it's Ashlyn, that can do this really well. If she wants to post a little video to the discussion board, if she wants to show herself doing this, it'd be great. So this is not the way I really want to do it today, though. So I'm just going to stay with A for all of you. And just forward fold. In the full Ashtanga series, you would do all three. And then other side. So we haven't really talked about vinyasa at all, and that is part of Ashtanga. We'll get to that on another day. Today is just to get through the seated poses. I'll make sure that vinyasas are in the whatever Ashtanga video I decide to post to go with all of this. So we're going to come back and do some Marichyasana now. So Marichyasana is going to be foot on the floor now, knee up. But notice I don't have the foot right up against the leg. I need there to be a little bit of a gap. And that gap is so that I can forward fold a bit into this. So I'm bringing my body down. And for this too, if I can't get my shoulder in front of my knee, then there's no sense in even trying to bind because it's not going to work. So only if you can get your shoulder in front of your knee, if you can fold that much, that's the only time you should try to take the bind here without a strap. So forward folding, start by grabbing the outside of the foot, the opposite foot. And just see if you can pull yourself down a little bit more. And then the way to get into the bind is to, I like palm up. Wrap that hand around. Now if I let my knee drop open, look, my elbow's not even to the knee. It's not going to work. So you have to hug that leg in. Even with this space between the foot and the leg, hug the knee in close to your side. Palm up, wrap it around, and then that other hand is going to try to come back behind you. Whoops. Various angles on it. Other side. So again, if you can't get the shoulder in front of the knee, don't even try. And then when you've got it, come back, check out that straight leg, make sure it's engaged. Foot is flexed, not flopped open, straight up. establishing good habits. Sort of like making your bed. It's a good habit. This is an unmade bed and leg hygiene, and then this is a made bed. Nice. All right, so we'll go back to the other side again and just do a twist. So take your hand to the outside of the leg and twist. Good leg hygiene with the straight leg. And then turning the other way. Moving on to the other side. Start to the outside. And then moving to the inside. So for these two that we just did, if they seem too easy for you and you need a little bit more of a challenge, there's another way to do them. Instead of having this leg straight, I will take it into, I'm going to do it on the other side, take it into half lotus, then bend that knee, bring it down to the ground. So instead of this leg being out there straight like this, it's tucked in up here. And then you're going to try from here to take the bind. So that's only if you need a little bit more of a challenge. If you don't need that, then don't worry about it. Just know that those are there. And then the next pose, which will be our last pose, I'm going to do it sideways for you, is boat pose. So you're going to find your sitting bones beneath you. This is our last Ashtanga pose, I should say. And you're going to, you can, anywhere from your toes, just barely touching the floor, maybe your arms are holding onto the legs, to the legs completely straight, wherever you are along this. Arms can be on the legs or they can be out. Whatever feels right for you. I'm about here, a little bit of a bend. And you might feel your body shaking as you're doing this. You're going to take about 5 breaths. After your 5th breath, cross the legs, make fists with your hands. Lift up just a little bit the buttocks and put it back down and go right back into it 3 times. One thing that helps is to keep the shoulders back and the heart open. If you do this, it's harder to hold yourself up. So lead with the heart, not with the shoulders. Last one. I don't know if you heard those Ujjayi breaths I was doing. I was burning off some rajas with it. All right. Music City hip opener routine. I have no idea how much time we're at right now. So what am I doing? There we go. 40 minutes. We've got plenty. So I learned this from Cora Wynn. Hi, Cora, if you're ever viewing this. Cora Wynn, if you look at some of my liked videos, if you're on my page, the one where she does the strap to lift and open, and I'm in it with her, that's Cora. So anyway, she made up this routine, and it's for hips. So we're going to start, you need a strap, if you couldn't tell that. We're going to start in seated tree, Janu Sirsasana. So just inhale, and then exhale, fold. Breathing here. We're going to come up, bend that knee. See if you can grab onto the foot and straighten the leg straight up. Here's a spot where you might need a strap too, if you can't, but make sure that the strap is simply an arm extender. So I don't want to be here because then my arms are going to be all discombobulated. You just want your arms straight and the strap holding as close to your foot as you can. Then I'm going to take both straps in my outside hand and I'm going to open my leg away from me. Then I'm going to bring it back to the middle, cross the midline, change the hand. This is where Cora always says, play your air guitar. So, if you like, play your air guitar, Margaret. And then we're going to come back and rock the baby. So, take the same leg you've been working with. Wrap one arm around the foot, one arm around the knee, and just rock back and forth. Now this leg that's down has been kind of tucked under me. I'm going to extend it out so that it's square to my body, and then I'm going to take my baby, my other shin, and lay it on top. This is square lotus or fire logs. And then you're going to forward fold over the legs. If this causes you any discomfort, or if your hip is up like this because it's tight, that bottom leg goes straight and you forward fold that way. So I know that happens for a lot. I'm kind of a freak of nature with this, so I just know. And if you need more, don't turn towards this hip that you're feeling it in. You're feeling it in the leg that's on top. Turn towards the foot that's up. And you will get a little bit of a deeper stretch. So then come up, straighten the bottom leg out, and let that top foot just fall to the inside, and we're set up for the other side. So inhale, reaching up, exhale, folding forward. And then coming up, we're going to take that knee, bend it, grab the bottom of the foot, or use your strap, straighten the leg. I like also hovering a little bit before I straighten the leg. Just take the foot off of the ground just to root down into your sitting bones before you straighten that leg. If you want, you can use a strap. Both straps in the outside hand, open away from you. Bring it back to the front, cross the midline, play your air guitar. Bend the knee, pull it into your body, rock the baby. Let that bottom leg square up to the body. Lay the other one on top, fire logs, or if you need to, straighten that bottom leg. And then we're going to just forward fold over these legs. If you want to go deeper, turn towards the foot that's on top. The Music City hip opener routine. So headstand prep is what's next on the schedule. Just as a reminder, forearms down. I'm going to tuck my toes and come off into dolphin pose. So my forearms are down, my head's not down. I can move my head all around. And then if you want, the prep can be just getting used to what it feels like to be upside down and lifting these legs. Up and down. If you feel ready to go further, we'll talk about that. We'll come up, see what we can do here. Get some of my body. So I am going to interlace my fingers and put them on the ground. Imagine this block is the ground. They're going to go on the ground like this. So this is the part of my head that I want to be on the ground. So I don't want to do this with my hands. My hands are going to go around the back of my head. I don't want my elbows out because that's making a straight line. I want my elbows in close to my body. So that's how that's going to work. I'm going to go back against the wall. And we will see how this goes. So, sorry I'm so far away. Hands interlaced, on the floor near the wall, elbows in tight, my head on the floor. Boom. And we'll just kind of leave it there for this time. The wall is your friend. So first few times trying a headstand, you should definitely be at the wall. And you'll notice that we're not doing the tripod, that traditional tripod where it's head and hands. We've got a whole lot more real estate on the ground if we use our forearms down. So that's just the way that this is done in yoga. My hair is a mess. Look at that. All right. Breath work. I'm going to try to turn the camera again. I can. So I think we're going to be here for a little bit. All right. So we're going to learn alternate nostril breathing today. And I can say that in the fall semester, this was their favorite style of breathing. The spring semester, they did not like it for Yoga 1. So y'all give me an opinion. Tell me on the discussion board, do you like alternate nostril or not? I think it's somewhat calming. So if you're feeling spun up, it can be a way to kind of calm down. For some people, though, it's the opposite. It spins them up. It makes them feel like they're drowning. So you just have to figure out what works for you in this particular situation. So let's just practice a little bit of how this is done there. So start by just blocking off one nostril and breathing in and out through the other one. And just notice how it takes longer to get air in and out through just that one nostril. Try the other side. So that's not really single nostril breathing. We are breathing through one nostril, but that's not the way it's meant to be done. What we're meant to do is to share our breath through each nostril. So you're going to inhale through one, change your hold, and exhale through the other. And then you don't change again yet. You inhale through that same one you were just on, and then change and exhale. So think of it this way. You only change after you inhale. And I like taking a couple fingers to my forehead. I like using my thumb and my ring finger on the nostrils, the other two on my forehead, to try to just do a little bit of massage or acupressure to your vagus nerve, the nerve that controls the parasympathetic, takes you into rest and digest and out of fight or flight. So that's kind of nice to do. So right now, my right nostril is open. I'm going to inhale through that. Since I just inhaled, I'll change. Exhale. Then inhale through that same nostril. Change. Exhale. Inhale. Change and exhale. Inhale. Change and exhale. Keep going. You can let your eyes close if you like. Finish the round that you're on now. Coming back to where you started. Let your hand drop down and breathe through both nostrils. And we're going to be moving now into corpse pose, eye rest meditation. We'll go a little bit further into the feelings in the body this time. The hot, cold, pain, discomfort, comfort, heaviness, lightness, as compared to sensations, tingling and vibrant. Those are more what we do when we do the body scan. This is going to be more free form as we get to that. And we'll also move into emotions as well. There's a lot of emotion in this world right now. Can you tell that my energy just kind of dropped out? I'm feeling a little bit more sattvic at this point. Practice does that. So I'd like you to just find a position that's comfortable for you. I like having something under my knees, so I'm going to put a blanket for under my knees, pillow for my head. Let's find yourself in a comfortable position, feeling supported by the surfaces your body is resting upon. Feeling the earth beneath you, the touch of air on your skin. Your senses open and alive. Feeling the taste in your mouth, hearing the sounds around you, smells in your nose, colors behind your eyelids, your body open and alive. And remind yourself of your inner resource, the place of ground, safety, and security that you can go to at a moment's notice during this practice or in your daily life, whenever you need to take a momentary time out from the world.
And remind yourself of your heartfelt desire, wish, or prayer for yourself, for the world, for another. And out of that heartfelt desire, what is the one thing you can focus on right now? And set that as your intention for this practice. Now let the sound of my voice be your guide as we travel through your body, noticing the sensations that are present, noticing the taste in your mouth, the inside of your mouth, outside of your mouth, lips, ears, nose, eyes, forehead, crown of the head, back of the head, the neck, the whole head and neck, a field of radiant or vibrant sensation. Notice your shoulders, arms, hands, fingers. Back up your arms into your shoulders. The arms and hands, a field of sensation. The chest and the belly. The back. Hips. Legs. Feet and toes. Your whole body, a field of radiant or vibrant sensation. The outside of your body, surface of your body, inside of your body, the inside of your body, the lungs breathing. Inhaling, abdomen rising, chest expanding. Exhale, abdomen releasing, chest contracting. No need to change anything. The body breathing naturally and rhythmically. Inhale, abdomen rising. Exhale, abdomen releasing. No need to change anything. The body breathing itself. And then with this next inhalation, allow all of your energy to go to the right side of your body. And while breathing in and out, fill the right side of your body with energy. Then, after the next inhalation, fill the left side of your body with energy. And then while breathing in and out, fill the left side of your body with energy. Then allow yourself to wander back and forth between the left and the right side of your body at your own natural breathing rhythm. breathing and being with everything just as it is. Back and forth, left and right. And with the next inhalation, fill both sides of your body at the same time. Then let breathing go and be aware of the fields and flows of energy throughout your body and in your mind. Become aware of the feelings that are present in your body, such as hot or cold, heavy or light, comfort or discomfort. Notice their location in your body. And if it's helpful, bring to mind the opposite of this feeling in your body. Without thinking, or just feeling. And if this gets too heavy, simply going to your inner resource and taking a momentary time out. Then, as you feel ready, rotate your attention back and forth between these two opposites of feeling. First feeling one, then the other. Over time, allow the space between these two opposites of feeling to become less and less until you are experiencing both at the same time. Without thinking, just noticing how this affects your body and your mind. Bring to mind an emotion that you've been working with in your life, or a memory that brings to mind an emotion. And as you hold this emotion, notice where you experience it and how you experience it in your body. Perhaps you feel sad as a knot in your stomach, tightness, or happy as butterflies in your heart. If it's helpful, bring to mind the opposite of this emotion and notice where and how you experience this opposite. Then, as you're ready, allow your attention to wander back and forth between these opposites, first experiencing one, then the other. Without thinking, simply being with whatever comes up and however this affects your body and your mind. Bring to mind something that brings you joy and experience that joy as your heart smiling, perhaps your whole body feeling a radiant smile. Knowing that you've done some hard work. Bring yourself to joy. Taking a look back, though, through the work you've done at the emotions you've processed through. The feelings, your breath, and the sensations present in your body. Remember the intention that you set at the beginning of this practice. Remember your heartfelt desire. And always remember your inner resource, your happy place of ground and safety that you can return to at a moment's notice. And know that you can always return to this at a moment's notice. And thank yourself for taking this time to practice I-Rest meditation and to do something good for yourself. Begin your movements by wiggling your fingers and toes, small muscles, and then the arms and the legs as you're ready for more movement. Bending the knees, rolling to your side, pausing on your side for a couple breaths in the fetal position before pushing yourself up to seated. Allow your hands to touch the floor, thanking the earth for holding you here for these floor poses today. And then inhale the arms up to the sky, bringing the palms of the hands together. Exhale, bring the hands down to the heart. Head bows, eyes closed. Deep breath in and exhale. Eyes open, head lifts, and namaste.